Namaskar. Welcome to NFL Masala. I am your co-host for today, Rakshak, and I am joined by one of my many of my other guest co-hosts for today, Mr. John Placente from Penn State. How you doing today, my man?
How you doing? I'm doing pretty good.
I am doing great as well, and I can say week three of the NFL was insane. So what do we have today? Today we will be recapping week three of the NFL for our respective teams, and we will do a preview of week four. But before we can do all this, let's have some Demarcadar news. The first one being is the news from Rio. So, to all NFL fans living in Brazil, Rio de Janeiro, you are in luck because the NFL announced on today a multi-year commitment to play a minimum of 3 regular season games over 5 years in Rio de Janeiro, Brazil, beginning in 2026. I think it's part of the NFL prioritizing the global expansion and to bring in like the international games to new cities around the world. They're going to start in 2026. They will be starting their first regular season game at Rio at the Maracana Stadium, and it's just to build upon the success they've had in Arena Corinthians in Sao Paulo. So I think that's definitely good to have that. And seeing its success there, if you looked at it last year, it was Eagles versus Packers. Knowing how close of a game that was, and then this year with Chargers versus Chiefs, with the Chargers doing everyone in America a favor by beating those Chiefs, I think that it's like, yep, I think they all love it. So I'm on with that. What are your thoughts on it?
I was really skeptical about it just because of how many players did get hurt in that Eagles Packers game.
Oh yeah,
but seeing how they like completely changed up the field and how they really took player safety into account, I think it's a great idea. It's a great city to expand on. It gets them out of that like European market and into a more broad market.
Oh, 100%. And I also would think that and I also think like having that kind of international market, it does help out branches more of the game. Hell, like how they have an international player pathway. Maybe somewhere around the world, you find like the next hidden talent, like a new OCU Manura, someone like that. I know I'm speaking very old, so it shows how old I am. So don't worry. With that, we have to talk about some injury news updates. The Ravens have placed defensive tackle Justin Nnamdi Madubuike on IR after he suffered an injury during the Lions and Ravens game. Woof. And also, a couple of sources are stating that the Bears rookie tight end Colston Loveland is not expected to play on Sunday, and also Bengals tight end Noah Fant is out with a concussion, and he will be sitting versus the Broncos, and Brock Purdy is good to go to start after sitting out for 2 weeks. And we also have to talk about the big news: Jackson Dart taking over as the starting QB over Russell Wilson.
Yeah, it doesn't shock me that they had a change at QB looking at how bad Russ has been in, other than that Cowboys game, just how bad he was in week 1 and week 3. I thought it was going to be Jameis, though. I really thought they were going to switch and have Jameis take over for a little bit. I thought they were going to sit him for longer, let him learn, but I guess they think he's ready.
Yeah, I think that was like my concern too. Because Jameis Winston can also do all I can say is like for Jameis Winston, like yes, he may have that 30 for 30, but it's the unpredictability that we all like about Jameis Winston. And plus putting Jackson Dart with a very terrible O-line, that's not gonna work. I have a bad feeling about this. But we could talk about all bad feelings later on, because now we're getting on to week 3 recap. John, I want to get your thoughts on the Packers versus the Browns. What the hell just happened that game?
Do I have to talk about this?
I mean, you could put in like a 1-minute summary because I'm going to talk about because for my game, Eagles versus Rams, I was in, like, mind you, folks, I was in Denver on vacation. I was thinking, oh, it's going to be easy. Nothing's going to happen. And I predicted earlier that the Rams were going to win. I was like, yeah, they're going to do it. But then all of a sudden, I'm watching this at a bar. I'm screaming my head off. I'm the only person screaming. But before I get to that, that meltdown that I had, I wanted to get your few takes on this game. You don't need to go into full detail, but just let me know what happened. Like, just sum it up. I mean, do what you can on this one. But yeah.
This game really just mainly came down to how bad the offensive line was, because I think they were ranked. I don't even know what they were ranked. I think they had a 15.5 on something. I honestly tried to erase this game from my head, but the offensive line was hilariously bad. Jordan Love was running for his life damn near every play, and it just did not help their chances. Also, getting penalized 14 times against any team is going to be the kiss of death. Also, just like, it's the same old Jordan Love as we saw last season. He gets nervous in big games, and even though this wasn't a big game, it was a close game, and he makes a stupid throw, and that's really what cost us. Because if he had just held onto the ball or even taken a sack, I think we would have had a better chance to at least get in field goal range. But we did get in field goal range eventually, and it was one of the many blocked kicks of that week, which is another thing that was absolutely insane. I think, didn't we have like 3 blocked kicks within the span of 5 minutes?
Yeah. I mean, and 2 block kicks were returned for touchdowns.
Yeah,
that is how insane it was. And I was about to say, if had that trend continued, I would have been like today's week on what the hell is special teams and what the hell is kicking a field goal, because no one could kick. You know what I mean? No one could kick a ball through the uprights.
No, it was bad. I remember a few years ago when Mason Crosby was still on the Packers. They were playing the Bengals in Cincinnati. I don't remember who the kicker was. I think it was Evan McPherson, and they missed a combined like 8 field goals in that game. It reminded me of that. But yeah, because we had the Packers blocked field goal, then we had the Jets blocked field goal, which returned for a touchdown, and then of course the Eagles, which
I'm gonna get to it.
We'll get to in a minute. Yeah. But to sum it all up, pretty much it was a mix of a lot of things, and I mean, you give props to the Cleveland Browns defense, because they are a hell of a defense. If they get that offense rolling, I feel like they could beat a lot of these teams that are on their schedule, because they don't look terrible. I mean, they almost beat Joe Burrow and the Bengals. But this really came down to bad penalties, bad offensive line play, and kind of just bad play calling by Matt LaFleur. Some of those plays were head scratchers, but you move on, fight another week. We always have that one bad trap game every year, like I said in the group chat. Mm-hmm. Last year was the Giants. This year it's the Cleveland Browns. I'm just glad we got it out of the way early and on to Dallas.
Yeah, I definitely understand that. And I know that we have another, and just at the time of that, we got Mr. Cameron Stackman coming in. How's it going, man?
I'm good.
Yeah. In a few words, how'd your Bills do against the Dolphins?
Well, had a little bit of mistakes running the ball and everything, but in the end, we actually managed to get that problem sorted out. So,
and it honestly proves to the point, like, even though like the Dolphins tried to click at the last minute, there's still there's 3 things in life we have to talk about. That are mentioned: death, taxes, and Tua turned the ball over. I mean, are we all in agreement that Mike McDaniel needs to be fired?
Yeah.
If the Dolphins like have a shitty record by the end of the year, then yeah, he's 100% fired.
No, I think he should be fired like right now, even if it's in the middle of the season. Like he needs to be fired.
You know the Dolphins won't do that. They need a coach.
Right. I think they do need a coach too, but it's putrid. It's disgusting. You're trying to replicate a Kyle Shanahan style of offense when you have no O-line to begin with, and you have no running game outside of Devon Achane, who's a great pass catching running back. It's
okay. I don't necessarily agree with they don't really have a run game because Ollie Gordon he has looked pretty good in the minimal snaps that he's gotten.
Okay.
It's just mainly their offensive line.
The O-line is bad. It is I'm gonna say I haven't said this in a while, but it is North Korea level. That is how bad it is. I mean, it was horrible. But if you want, but I think like with that. I looked like the offense struggled a little bit on this one, but you have to give it to Josh Allen finding a way to finish up the game and what I really liked that last drive, Josh Allen draining the clock. Who does that these days? And then kicks the goal.
It was smart. Oh shit!
I think that they could focus on, but. We'll get to more on that, but we have to talk about this weekend for my Eagles. Holy crap! There's a meme that I'm gonna say this. It starts off with this: "Yay! I'm excited for my Eagles team." The rest of the game, the rest of the portion is I'm going to kill myself because that's literally what it was. And then the ending part is, "Yay! We won." I had no. And trust, and I was saying this to John earlier today, Cam, but I was in Denver for a vacation. I was watching the game at a bar, and I went through so many emotions. It was an ugly, ugly win. Again, Kevin Patullo, what the hell is this offense? And it was at the point where the Rams were up 26-7 in the early stages of the third quarter. This is where I'm gonna get really, really elevated up and down. Y'all be there to calm me down if you can. But stuff like this shouldn't happen. Yes, the Eagles are able to put up like 26 unanswered points, but this shit shouldn't have happened in the first place to begin with. When you have a competent offense. When you have competent offensive play calling, good Lord, it pissed me off. Like, I'll talk about this. It was literally a tale of two halves. After the Eagles were able to force the interception with the clutch hands of Zach Bond, the second play of that Rams drive, Zach Bond with the clutch INT, Jalen Hurts and the run game, they were able to get a push touchdown. But since then. And then we also noticed one thing. Lane Johnson, the Eagles' right tackle, was gone. And since then, you want to know what the drives were ending? 3 and out. We didn't even get a freaking first down until 14 minutes to go in the third quarter. Jalen Hurts had -1 passing yards by halftime. That is how bad it was. But And guess what? When they started figuring out, we have offensive weapons like AJ Brown and Devontae Smith, and we have this action called throwing a football. Gee, you think? And here's what we finished with: 21 for 32 with 65.6% passer rating, percent completion, 226 yards of passing, 3 touchdowns. 117.4 passer rating. It is very upsetting to know how good Jalen Hurts is with that deep ball, yet it was super vanilla. I mean, on a 3rd and long, why the hell are you running a draw play like a running back run and I think there was a meme in which, like, if you wanted to find like great, if you wanted to find, there's a meme for like what offensive game playing for Kevin Patullo on Madden. You have like different plays, right? Like you have HB toss up. You know what the main thing was? HB smash, HB smash, HB smash. If you have a PS2, if you have a PlayStation or an Xbox, your options on the offensive game plan of Kevin Patullo: run, run, run. You know, Saquon Barkley wasn't going to run the ball a lot effective because the rushing lanes were compromised. And I mean, credit to Jared Verse and the Rams defense. They got to Jalen Hurts. They forced a turnover. But at the end, like when it was 26-7, like the funny part was Jalen Hurts throws a deep pass to AJ Brown. Like it was like a 38, 40 yards. The Eagles fans had a Bronx cheer. Like they're saying, like, yeah, you know what I mean by that, Cam, right? A Bronx cheer. That's what literally happened. And then right after that, immediate 40-yard smash route to Dallas Goedert for a touchdown. And they were able to click. I was very surprised the Rams did not adjust their defensive scheme for that. Chris Shula, who I thought was really good at this stuff, like he didn't even make any last minute changes. And when that matchup, AJ Brown versus Emmanuel Forbes, AJ Brown showed who the father is, and that is AJ Brown. Like literally, He had AJ Brown 6 catches, 109 yards, and 1 touchdown. But also to talk about him converting those third downs and having that yak ability because of that his physical frame, I'm like, why the hell aren't the Eagles target? Why the hell is the pass game not too aggressive? You have to take chances when it's needs. Like when you look at the Packers, when in doubt, Jordan Love, hey, I know who my guy is. Tucker Kraft, Matthew Golden, Romeo Dobbs, Samari Toure. If they could catch, like, boom, they have there. Bills, what do they have? Yeah, I don't know. Keon Coleman and Khalil Shakir, Dalton Kincaid. You have certain guys. Hurts has a stupid amount of weapons, yet why the hell are we going soft-ass vanilla offense? Take the risks. I want to see those deep throws, and it worked. I mean, not just A.J. Brown. Also include Devontae Smith, too. He didn't have that much of a sexy stat game, as people would call it, but he made the necessary catches, especially on the game-winning touchdown drive. 4th and goal, what I really liked, I don't know if you guys watched that play. 4th and goal, Jalen Hurts is the shotgun formation. Rams are bringing a blitz. What he does, Devontae Smith, he's running an out. He's basically running 7 yards, 2-3 yards in, and then fades to his right, like, and it basically an out that way. And then Jalen Hurts finds it, easy throw and catch. Beautiful right there. That was the game-winning touchdown. And but I'll talk about one major thing. After that push for the touchdown, and yes, this is where people are going to talk about it. And I mean, like, to the refs and all that stuff. Oh, we should be better officiating and all that stuff. Y'all shut the fuck up. You couldn't even. And I'm talking to the NFL. Y'all couldn't even get the push to be banned, and now you're saying, oh, we should be doing this and this and this. I'm like, pansies. Bunch of pansies. That's all I will say. But another important stat: when Lane Johnson, our right tackle, went out of the game, you had a backup in Matt Pryor. Hear me out. For 15 plays, what happened when Matt Pryor was at right tackle? I want to take a guess. How many yards did the Eagles gain in 15 plays when the backup right tackle is in there? Take a guess. How many yards?
2.
I'd say like 4 or 5.
John is the closest. When Matt Pryor was at right tackle for 15 plays, negative 10 yards.
Negative 10.
Negative 10 yards. Like, and you know what's so even incredible? What's even shocking? The dude is a guard to begin with, and I know Jeff Stalin is trying to do his thing. I'm like, oh, we're gonna try and make them play like 2 positions, but why the fuck are you putting him as a right tackle? He's gonna get his ass kicked. Hurts was blitzed so many times. It was so bad, and that sack fumble led to that Rams touchdown to make it 26-7. But luckily, I thank Howie Roseman for making that trade to get Fred Johnson back from the Jags. Fred Johnson at right tackle, 39 plays, 260 yards of offense, and 3 touchdowns. See the difference?
Mhm.
See the difference right there. It's stupid. But it shows like the run game was so bad. It was like you need to figure it out, and I think a lot of it relies on Jeff Scotland and the offensive game plan, because usually the Eagles are built to be like a run first team, and then you open up with the pass. But if their teams are ready to stop the run, you need to figure it out. You just can't go zone rush it. You can't just go like zone rush inwards and maybe if you have to go from shotgun runs, maybe try from something from under center, open up the play action. Why the hell are we not doing this? Why can't we go wide receiver bootleg? Why can't we go for wide receiver bootleg runs? You saw what the Rams did with Puka Nacua. Like, they were literally carving this Eagles run defense. It was so bad. But and getting out to the Eagles run defense, like the Eagles defense overall, I would say thank you so much to Vic Fangio. And it was very bad. Like, they were kept, the Eagles defense was kept in compromising situations. Like, they were compromising field positions, and I mean special teams was wolf. But the Fangio was able to hold on to, was able to like limit the Rams to 3 for 3 of 11 and third and fourth downs. They're able to get the turnover at the beginning and a turnover on downs, especially in the fourth quarter. And if I had a couple of players of the game, I want to talk about Zach Bond. Dude's a beast. First 2 drives, come up with the clutch INT. And decided the Eagles' first touchdown. 2 passes defended, and he was really good in coverage and against the run. And the next one I have to say was holy shit, Quinyon Mitchell is back. He kicked ass, literally. If you wanted to talk about, and I'll tell you about this, there was one matchup I was looking very forward to. Quinyon Mitchell versus Devontae Adams. Adams was talking a lot of shit, saying like, hey, Quinyon's a good player, but you know what? I'm going to show him a lot more. And credit to Adams. Adams is a very good player. But you want to know, and this will be really quick. Guess when Quinyon Mitchell shadowed Devontae Adams, and this was the first time he's done that, how many receptions did you think Adams got, and how many yards?
2, I want to say 120 yards.
Okay. John, what are your thoughts?
I'm gonna say like 3 for 50.
Okay, so Quinyon Mitchell versus Devontae Adams, 22 times after snap. He only allowed 2 receptions for 12 yards.
Oh, wow.
Damn.
Welcome to Quinyanamo Bay, boy. Locked up. But outside of Devontae Adams to finish the game with 3 receptions for 56 yards, but can we talk about how freaking good Puka Nacua is? Like, this dude is unstoppable. 11 receptions for 112 yards. He literally tore apart the CB2 position, especially like because Puka, he'll sometimes play in the slot. Even if Cooper DeJean is a great run stopper, especially in the nickel slot, Puka Nacua is in a different mode. He finished the game with 11 receptions for 112 yards. And I mean, also credit to the Rams running game. Going Kyron Williams and Blake Corum. They literally torched this Eagles run defense. And I thought, like, what the hell are they doing? Why? And it was because not only that, we saw like a lot of motion, wide receivers were blocking. They were getting into it early. And of course, it shows a weakness with Jahad Campbell. The rookie played very good, but when he's facing a double team, Jahad Campbell he's very shaky on that. And I honestly think that he needs to he needs to have like a little bit of temperament on that. But I also want to talk about but with that being said, I am going to talk about my MVP of this game. Guys, have you met my friend Jordan Davis? Because holy shit, what a fucking game by him. I was going to the Jordan Davis show. Since with this, he had very crucial plays. The first one, a sack on Matt Stafford, that prevented the Rams quarterback from running for a first down on a 3rd and 2, forces the punt, and then a tackle for a loss on 4th and 1 to force a turnover and downs in the 4th quarter. But with that being said, he and Jalen Carter, when it came to those last 2 field goals, he and Jalen Carter blocked the kick, blocked the field goal. Eagles got the ball. They were able to get that touchdown on that long drive. And then the last play of the game. Holy shit. Can we talk about this? It was a 3rd and 3, I think, or 3rd and 4, 3 seconds ago. Rams are in field goal range. I'm like thinking, yep, they're going to score. They're going to score. Just put me out of my misery. But the comeback was good while it lasted. Just as the kick is going, Jordan Davis blocks it with one hand. And lo and behold, picks it up, runs it for a freaking touchdown. Holy shit.
That's crazy.
What a freaking ending for this man. According to Next Gen Stats, he reached a top speed of 18.5 miles per hour on the return. That is the fastest speed by a player over 330 pounds since at least 2017.
Oh, shit.
I call it a thick six. I call it a thick six. And my God, this dude is freaking amazing. I was happy about the win, but because I was like yelling my voice is sore, but again, very ugly game. I didn't like it. Your thoughts? I mean, if you have like some key takeaways of if you ever watched the game, what are your thoughts about that game?
I don't think I have any final thoughts. I honestly thought I knew the Eagles had that game, but I didn't know how they would end the game. I watched the game for like maybe the first half at a bar and the second half at home.
Mm-hmm.
So.
I think this game says more about the Rams and their inability to close out big games like this, and that's just something they need to work on. But also, it shows the Eagles are beatable. Like, the Rams had this game. They were up big in the first half and then just absolutely collapsed. And so, yeah, I think the Eagles are beatable. I mean, we saw it in the game against Dallas. That game was way too close for comfort, and we saw it again here.
Yeah, I'm not surprised by that. It's just like, I get that you got the win, but a conservative play calling like this, plus the defense not being able to stop the run, and I mean, like, especially against the Rams, it's just concerning because if you're playing a Packers team, Packers like, oh, guess what we're gonna do? You can't stop the run. We're gonna put oh my God, Josh Jacobs and make him run for like $150 and 2 touchdowns. Hell, against the Bills, I can see James Cook licking his lips and saying, "Oh man, I can't wait to run on y'all." It's just like Vic Fangio needs to fit. It's almost like that bend but no break for Vic Fangio, but it's like it needs to be cleaner. It needs to, and that's all I have to say. And with that. And yes, ladies and gentlemen, I know it's quick, but this is what it is. And with that being said, the week 3 recap is done. And now we go on to week 4.
Oh, Rashak, you're in for a surprise in December. Hope you know that.
Oh, we're talking shit earlier. Okay. Okay. Okay.
You're in my house this time. We ain't in your house.
Okay. Okay. And I'm also in Lambeau Field for that one. Too.
Oh shit.
Yeah. Yeah, we got the Packers up. But with that being said, week 4. John, who are the Packers playing for week 4?
Packers got the Dallas Cowboys on Sunday Night Football.
Oh boy!
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So that one's going to be interesting. I feel like this is definitely going to be a bounce back game for Green Bay. I think they're going to be pissed off after what happened last week. And it's a tale as old as time. The Packers win at Jerry's World. They've had more playoff wins at Jerry's World than the Cowboys. They've won 9 out of their last 10 meetings. I think the Packers have a great chance of winning this game. No CD helps that a lot. Because I'm not going to lie, our secondary outside of our safeties is pretty abysmal. It's nothing to be happy about. Mm-hmm. But with a pass rush like that, there's really nothing to be too afraid of.
Yeah.
Unless injuries come into play, but that's a story for another time. I think the biggest thing here is just containing Dak, getting to Dak. And then as for the offensive side of the ball, just Josh Jacobs running all up and down the field and Jordan Love getting into that consistent mindset that he needs, because we've seen him, like, he has the talent. There's no doubt about it. But when he makes dumbass throws like the one he did against San Fran a few years ago, the one he did last week against Cleveland, if he continues to make these stupid throws, Dallas is going to take advantage. Their corners are slow, but they're interception hogs. And so I think the Packers still have a good chance to win this one. I have them winning 24-14.
Ooh, that's a good one. That's a good one.
I think that can definitely be said, but of course, everyone's going to have their eyes on Micah Parsons and how badly he's going to want to have a big game. And yeah. I think you know what? I got to beat the dome moment right here. Mm-hmm. I think Micah Parsons goes for a 3-sack, 4-sack game. Ooh. I honestly think that would be the case, because if the Cowboys cannot, I mean, if the Packers are able to stop the run game with Javonte Williams and Miles Sanders, and by the way, John, just remember, Miles Sanders is fumble prone.
Yeah.
So make sure you would do that. Punch the ball out if you need to. And then I will also say that George Pickens, just make him angry. That's all you have to do.
Yeah, see, that's the other thing with this defense, is that they really haven't produced the turnovers I was expecting them to. Mm-hmm. I think they've had 1 turnover, or no, maybe 2 all season. And they were both against Detroit in week 1.
I was going to say, I think I only saw 2 against Detroit. I saw, 1 against,
I don't think they had any
against
Washington.
Cleveland.
Oh, no, they did have 1 against Cleveland. That's right. So it was 1 against Detroit, 1 against Cleveland. And the 1 against Detroit was, I think it was a bullshit throw at the end of the half to Xavier McKinney. So they haven't really been producing the turnovers. But like you said, Miles Sanders is fumble prone. We saw it in college at Penn State. We saw it when he was with the Eagles. We saw it now. He's very turnover friendly, and so if the Packers can get to him, if they can get to Javonte Williams and kind of eliminate the pass game, I don't see Jalen Tolbert and oh my God, who's their other?
Who's their other
receiver?
Kavonte Turpin.
Yeah, I don't see Tolbert and Turpin being a problem. It's just mainly containing Pickens and containing Javonte Williams.
You gotta make Pickens lose the shit. That'll be hilarious.
Mm-hmm. I think that'd be a fun matchup to see, but I honestly think that the Packers should be able to win this game. And now, the Bills. Who do you got facing up?
Oh boy, this is gonna be a hard one because My grandpa passed away 3 years ago, and he was a diehard Saints fan. So.
Oh, you're facing New Orleans Saints. Okay. Can I make this easy for you? It's a win.
Yeah.
Because
it's gonna be a bloodbath. Are you kidding me?
I'm gonna fucking slaughter them.
The Saints are legitimately terrible. Like, I think they are the worst team in the league.
I don't know. Wait, it's like I'm guessing they're in contenders for Tank Bowl, but like if I were to look up like rankings right now, like overall, I think it's between the Jets, the Dolphins, the Titans, and then on the NFC, Giants and Saints.
Giants, New Orleans, yeah.
Teams that have not had a freaking win, and they're competing for Tank Bowl. But remember, folks, for Tank Bowl, the objective of Tank Bowl is not to win, but to lose. You need to get the number one thing. In the words of Urinating Tree, God bless him. But I honestly think like the Saints have no offensive line. They have no weapons other than Alvin Kamara and Rashid Shaheed.
Yeah.
Spencer Rattler is only doing what he can, and Kellen Moore is a first-round coach. I was like, Kellen Moore, you should have brought your ass back to Philly, man. Why the hell did you take this coaching position?
It's not working out for him. I'll say that right now.
Do the Saints have anything good about them other than Alvin Kamara?
Besides a beautiful stadium, no.
Geriatric Cam Jordan, maybe, but even then.
They're fucked. They haven't been good since Drew Brees was still on the team.
No, yeah.
Yeah, that's sad. Ugh.
I like Drew Brees. He was one of my favorites.
So, score predictions.
Oh, jeez. I'm going all out. I'm saying 45-3.
45-3.
Mm-hmm.
I would not be shocked if they put up a 50 burger.
I wouldn't be either.
I mean, we saw what the Seahawks did to them last week, so imagine a team like, where is that game?
It's in Buffalo.
Okay, yeah. No,
Lord.
They're 100% going to put up a 50 burger.
They're actually screwed.
So I'm guessing over/under for points. I'm just going to say over 40 points for the Bills.
Josh, you don't have to throw it this time. Just give it to James. He'll cook him like he did to the Cowboys a few years ago.
That's all they need to do.
Exactly.
All they need to do. The Saints have no rush defense.
They have no one. They have no one. It's like we're facing a flag football team.
Hey, don't sleep on Kool-Aid McKinstry.
Oh, I'm sleeping on him.
Kool-Aid McKinstry. I mean, like, who is he going to cover? Like, Keon Coleman, Khalil Shakir, Dalton Kincaid. Who else?
Hell, they could throw the water boy in there. He'd get 2 touchdowns.
Do they get Bobby Boucher in?
Throw Adam Thielen and Bobby Boucher in there. He'd be fun.
Remember when Bobby Boucher? Okay. With that, last but not least, Eagles versus the Bucks.
Oh, Jesus.
The old nemesis is back. Since then, Jalen Hurts against this team, Eagles are 1-4. Let's put it up there.
That's game of the week right here.
That is 100% game of the week.
Yeah, but guess what? I will say this, and people, and yes, y'all are. I'm gonna get some flack on this one, but last time the last couple of games the Eagles faced off against the Bucks, we did not have AJ Brown, we did not have Devontae Smith, we didn't have Lane Johnson.
Nope.
But even with this one, there's been one major thing. Todd Bowles has rattled Jalen Hurts whenever he brings up the blitz. I think there was one mic'd up game. Todd Bowles was like, bro, they can't stop the blitz. Like Jalen Hurts is idle, so they kept on going blitz after blitz, and it has rattled Jalen Hurts. I mean, so far he's doing a little bit better, but you need more than just a go route or curls and slants. You need to have some kind of blitz beaters on this one. And with that being said, Todd Bowles has blitzed Jalen Hurts 46.7% of his passing attempts in their 5 previous games. I think maybe you need to put in a QB. You need to have an inside zone brawl. I mean, an inside zone rushes. Like,
Yeah.
and no, like an inside zone QB rush, pull like how you did empty set against the Cowboys, empty set, and then maybe pull up a motion, QB run. Maybe you also do something like tunnel screens, quick and breakers. Also the big plays, and I also think. And another thing I also want to say is you need to get the run game going. If Saquon Barkley can get a run, can get a run, can get the run going, and it starts off with the Eagles O line. Tyler Steen is not Mekhi Becton. Let's put it out of the way. Landon Dickerson is dealing with something. Lane Johnson's playing with a stinger. It's like maybe you don't need to rush inside because you're dealing with the Bucks defensive line like Vita Vea, like Hassan Reddick. Yeah, Kalijah Kancey's out, but still, you cannot underestimate the Bucks when they've had your number over multiple times. If I'm the Eagles, like y'all can agree or disagree with me on this one. The only way I think for the Eagles to beat them, you need to have a diverse offensive running attack, not just insides. Maybe you have to go. Maybe you go wide receiver bootleg runs, like how you have like wide receiver sweeps.
Yeah,
like what you see like almost like a McVay or a Kyle Shanahan style of offense. Maybe, and maybe you need to go a quick passing game, like release the ball after 1 or 2 seconds. Maybe and now with AJ Brown and Devontae Smith coming in, one matchup I could see. For AJ Brown, I think he might go up against someone like no, not the Levante David. I'm thinking Jamel Dean and another one like Enzyme McCollum being matched up against Devontae Smith. But I would still consider AJ Brown to be a little bit more better because he's a lot more physical. But I think but also the rookie corner Jacob Parrish, he's been okay, but what I think could be a good thing is maybe attack the slot and have Jahan Dotson and Dallas Goedert a little bit more on this one. I'm thinking early dink and dunk passing game. Try and get some motion. Go get a screen game going. And I think the important guy, you got to target AJ Brown early. Thoughts on this one? Good. Like if I was running the Eagles offense, would that be something that you would like to see?
Just run the guys like AJ Brown or Goddard. You should be fun.
Well, the other thing is like spreading out the ball because the Eagles have a lot of good receivers and a lot of good pass catching talent. They have Jahan Dotson, who I think is very slept on. So they have a great receiving core, but getting AJ Brown involved is first and foremost the most important thing because it did wonders for them last week. And granted, they won their first 2 games. But he was non-existent in those first 2 games.
Exactly. Like Bucks still have Evans, so they're probably.
Oh no!
Slow.
Oh, speaking about the Bucks offense against the Eagles defense. Guess what? Mike Evans is out for the game.
Yeah,
he's not playing. And from what I'm hearing, Chris Godwin might be on a snap count. So that is something to keep an eye out for. And also a couple of big news I noticed. Edge rusher and outside linebacker Nolan Smith, he's on IR. Darius Cooper is on IR too, wide receiver. Then Jacorian Bennett. So looks like linebackers Zach Bond and Jahad Campbell will be there, but they were on the injury report for some time. And Adoree Jackson is limited. So Lane Johnson going through a stinger, it's okay, but still. And I would also look at this. For the Bucks, their O-line is, how can I say, it's a bit compromised. So I think from what I'm hearing, they may try and rush Tristan Wirfs in, but it depends upon where he may match up. Exactly. And because right now, Cody Mock, originally, they're looking at their depth chart. Cody Mock, right guard, he's out for the year from what I'm hearing. And they had oh my goodness. Okay, so right now, here's what their offensive line may be projected. Because with Cody Mock being out and Luka Decky out too, you got Tristan Wirfs as a left tackle, Ben Bredesen left guard, Graham Barton, who's a very strong center, Luke Haggard, right guard, and Charlie Heck on the right tackle side. But I think like from what I'm hearing, they may try and rush Tristan Wirfs in. And if they do, he may be like on a limited thing. It's like the Eagles should try and exploit on that mainly on the left side if they move it over. And then also, I think the Bucs are going to immediately try and run the ball a lot more with Bucky Irving. And I think like if you look at it, like last year, they finished fourth in rushing, 149.2 rushing yards per game, third in yards per rush. So I think, and don't get me wrong, Bucky Irving is a good running back, but they also have a good tandem with Rashad White, and Baker Mayfield can freaking scramble. You saw him play against Tampa Bay. You saw when, like at that third down, he was able to make those deep runs and go for it and use his legs to get those big yards, because he's taken up running 12 times this season, 112 yards, 9.7 yards per carry. The Eagles allowed 60 rushing yards from Pat Mahomes scrambles in the first half of that week 2 against the Chiefs, within limited in that. So it's like the Eagles have been very bad. They're apparently last in the league with a 45.1% rush success rate against the run. They're basically yielding a first down or touchdown on over 34% of opponents' attempts. So I think Vic Fangio has to find a way to limit and keep Baker Mayfield in the pocket. And yes, Mayfield will try and throw the ball early because he has 3 great weapons that are still there. Sterling Shepard, who is an underrated wide receiver, he could play slot. Chris Godwin is going to be on a snap count. And can we talk about freaking Emeka Egbuka? That rookie is so freaking good. And which concerns me, because if Chris Godwin is on a snap count, who do the Eagles put in corner? So I'm thinking I'm going to go out of the box on this one. Hear me out, guys. I say you still put Cooper DeJean in the slot. You need to find a way to cover like a guy like Sterling Shepard. Against Emeka Egbuka, I want to see Quinyon Mitchell on him. And for Chris Godwin, I'm hearing news that Keely Ringo might be starting. Knowing that will have an opportunity to play with Jacorian Bennett and with Jacorian Bennett being on IR, Adoree Jackson being very, very limited. So I think this is going to be the big game. Can Keely Ringo hold off on his own? He has the makeup speed. He's a very tight press man coverage. And I would be very surprised if he does well with zone, if the Eagles should run zone a lot more. And with the edges, I think we could be seeing some more snaps for Azeez Ojulari and maybe more Josh Uche. I've not heard back from Jalix Hunt at all. So he needs to make some kind of presence over there. And also Jordan Davis and Jalen Carter all starts with them. If they can generate that pass rush and get it and hit home on the quarterback, especially against Baker Mayfield, then I think the Eagles can do it. But somehow, some way, and I think like also another thing, another note, Jalen McMillan, he's out for this game.
Oh God.
Yeah, I think he's out for the year. I think he was sidelined with a neck injury during a preseason game. So it's like Emeka Egbuka is a little bit banged up, but he's still available. Chris Godwin will be on a snap count, and apparently Baker Mayfield, he was also was on the injury report as well. So it was like both teams are a bit banged up at the moment, but it's like you have no excuse on this one. And the Bucs defense is really and back to Eagles offense. The Bucs are built to stop the freaking run. They can do that. And but I also think the biggest matchup overall is how Jalen Hurts can beat Todd Bowles. If he could do that, I think that's going to be the big key. And what also know of the Eagles, after that special team snafu on how to not return kicks and all that, they did sign Xavier Gibson to the practice squad, so maybe they elevate him on that. But with that being the case, they also arrived in Tampa. They left for Tampa yesterday so they could try and get one more day in the heat and try and adapt to the conditions. Because again, Eagles are going to be wearing their dark jerseys against the Bucks white jerseys, all that one. So, but with that being said, my game prediction. I'm just gonna face the facts. The Eagles have always had this Achilles heel against Tampa, and I think that continues. I think the Buccaneers are gonna win this game. They are gonna win this 31-17. Jalen Hurts, yes, he has all his weapons, but the way that this offensive game plan is going, I hate it, and it's gonna be one of those reasons why the Bucs will win this game, unless the Eagles target A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith. They get the passing and running game going early. They don't make mistakes, and the defense is able to hold off. It's going to be a long day. I'm seeing a lot of unlesses, and I think the Bucs will win this game. They win 31-17.
Oh, Jesus.
I think the biggest crime is having this game at noon or 1 o'clock as an early game, because it happened last week where we got Chiefs and Giants on Sunday Night Football when the Broncos played the Chargers and the Eagles played the Rams.
Yeah.
I don't get what they're doing with the scheduling, but the fact that this isn't a 4:30 game is a crime. At least a 4:30.
Oh, yeah. I don't know why it's not a 4:30 game.
No, it's a crime against humanity for that type of shit. NFL schedule or the scriptwriter, get your shit together.
100%, yeah.
So, any score predictions for this game?
Score prediction? I see 31-17 Bucks. I'm sorry, I had to go to the Bucks this time.
I think it's fair.
I think I'm going to take Philly in this one, though, because I have them with the upset. It's going to be a close game. It's going to be a great game. Baker is a little banged up, so that is going to play into this. And not having Mike Evans is a huge factor. Like, it's a lot bigger than most people would think. It's going to be a lot of double coverage on Emeka Egbuka when Chris Godwin isn't in the game. So they're going to be relying on Sterling Shepard a lot. They're going to be relying on Bucky Irving and Rachaad White a lot. And I think the Eagles defense has their number on that one. I think it's going to be a defensive matchup. I have Eagles winning 14-10.
Mm-hmm. All right. Appreciate it, man. And this is why we have you guys over, because y'all know football a lot more. But with that being said, thank you so much for tuning into this episode of NFL Masala. I first of all want to give a special shout out to my guests, John Placente and Cam Stockman. John, where can they find you on your like your social media or your football stuff?
You can follow me on Instagram at jplacente_2812. That's JPLACENTE_2812. That's pretty much my handle for everything. Twitter, Snapchat, Instagram, all that good stuff.
Yeah. And Cam, what about you? Where can they find your content?
You can find me on Instagram at CamStacks1101. On YouTube, I got a channel. I mostly do gaming on there, so that's gonna be CamNair1101, and you can also find me on Snapchat. So
awesome. And of course, you can find us, the NFL Masala podcast, on our following platforms: Google, Spotify, Apple, Pocket Cast. And we're also on YouTube. So for YouTube, make sure you like, share, subscribe, click on the bell icon for more updates. And also, we are also on social media that on our following platforms, on the following social media platforms: Twitter/X, Instagram, and Threads. All with the same handle, at NFL Masala 2022. That is all lowercase. That is at NFL Masala 2022. And with that being said, thank you guys for joining in. And John, any last words?
Go Packers, kill the Cowboys.
Go
Yeah.
Paco.
Go Paco.
And Bills Mafia representing from
no
Cam.
Bills.
And
Also
of course,
I just punched the Red Sox hat.
And also from my end, fly, Eagles, fly. Thank you and have a good night.